Well, welcome, guys, to the Heavy Set podcast. Oh my God, I can't believe we're doing it. Our first episode.
Let's go.
Right? Oh, did you think we'd get here?
Glad to be here. I think it's been a long time coming, most definitely. So yeah, excited and ever so slightly nervous because I know what you're like.
What do you mean? I don't know what he's talking about. Come on.
Got that glint in your eye.
No way.
He's got that look in his face. So I'm worried.
You know what? I'm just hoping the listeners will be able to just take something away because we talk all the time. We talk about everything. Yeah. And this is our chance to be able to actually just share some of our conversations, our insights, our vulnerabilities, and just try and get involved, try and get a community, right? So when we start, or just before we start, I think it'll be interesting, it'll be good for everyone to find out a bit about ourselves, a bit of background. So Scotty T, go for it, bro.
I'm Scott Taylor. I'm going to start with most important things. I am a husband. I am a father of 4 amazingly beautiful children who are my everything. And I'm a son to the most amazing parents in the world. I feel very blessed to have what I have. To me, family is everything. That's the people that live under my roof. That's my folks, and that's my wider family. I'm very, very blessed to have had that love wrapped around me for a very early age. Aside from that, I'm a movement obsessive man. Like I am absolutely obsessed with all things movement and all things fitness because it's helped me through my life. And in my most challenging times, and we all have challenging times, being able to kind of get out of my own head and kind of walk that path of kind of self-improvement through fitness has actually given me tools and a bit of a roadmap to deal with real life. Like day-to-day stuff can feel really jumbly in my head. It's just how my brain works. When I draw parallels to the fitness world, all of a sudden everything feels a little bit easier. That's a bit about me, man.
Nice, man.
Cool.
Nice. Main man himself. Let's do it, bro.
My turn, eh? Yeah, so look, father of 3 boys. Eldest is 22, middle one is 11, youngest is 9, so a massive gap between them. And a little bit about me, I suppose, is I just like to challenge myself. I never pick the easy option. I think the reason why sport was a big part of my life growing up was I just like competing. I grew up watching Rocky movies, and I always liked the underdog. I had like learning difficulties growing up, so I was always that one. And I could compare myself to Rocky, right? Where, people would mock him and he wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed, but he just worked hard, grafted and proved people wrong.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of me. And I think that's why I've always enjoyed sport. The whole reason I started training was just the competing side of it, challenging myself. And it's been the same with business. Yeah, I think the reason why I've almost made myself unemployable is because I like the challenge of trying to create something, do it all myself. And so yeah, I'm kind of like my own worst nightmare, to be fair, because I just like to make things difficult.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Well, it's a challenge, isn't it? You want to challenge yourself all the time.
It is.
That's where you grow.
Yeah, you have to. And then last but no means least, hi.
Oh.
I'm JP, a good friend to you both and vice versa. Amen. So I'm lucky to be here. Father of 2 beautiful kids. They're my life, as well as my nightmare sometimes. you know the feeling. Feeling. Yeah, exactly. It's not all sunshine and roses and pretty pictures. It's difficult sometimes. Just grew up in North London. So for all the other North Londoners out there, best part of London, shout them out. You have to say that. It's true. It's true. You have to be. Yeah. South London, not so much, but it's always fine. It's fine. I love what you guys said. Can I just basically copy it? All the above. The only thing I would add to your amazing stories would be, I just like to be around good people. And I think through hard times, through good times and everything else in between, it's just nice to have a good conversation. So I'm hoping that we'd be able to share our journey with other people so they could hopefully be part of our community as well.
Love that.
So let's go, right? Let's go. Right, I'm going to surprise you with some questions, but beforehand, I want to give you both a gift.
Oh, excellent.
Or gifts, rather, right? I don't know if I got the sizes right, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Let's go.
So I was shopping the other day, my favourite shop.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Is that Lidl?
That is Lidl, right? Nothing wrong with it. I love a Lidl because you can get all your goods from Lidl. So I thought to myself, I would get these two something that might help them along the way because it's summertime.
Oh,
so,
mate.
Scotty T, you got these bad boys, right? I
Look
don't
at
know
that.
about the size,
I'm
but
jealous.
Look
Actually.
at that. I would be very
I'm
envious of
jealous.
these slides.
Yeah,
I think
I'm
they're
jealous.
so that's what you got.
I've got a holiday in a few weeks.
And then holiday, here we go.
Oh.
It's some clogs.
Yes.
Here
Simons.
we go.
Look at
Legendary.
those.
I hope they
Actually,
fit,
I'm now
boys.
jealous. I
Mate.
feel like the tables have
Mate,
turned.
with a nice
brothers.
shirt, trousers.
That's what I'm saying.
Can I just
That's
Good colour scheme.
express my gratitude, JP?
No.
Yeah,
I
man.
appreciate you, my brother. And you can never have too many sliders.
Do you know what I mean?
Least of all,
Try them on.
live
Try them
ones.
on. Try them on. Come on, let's see if they fit.
The pressure
I don't
is
know
on.
if I've got it right.
There you go.
I've got the
Fit in it.
world's,
Oh,
I've got
bosh,
the world's
look at
widest
this.
foot here.
How's the wide feet
Let's have
doing?
a go. Hang on.
Did
We're
you
in.
moisturise, bro?
Oh, of course, bro.
Oh, bro, come on. You don't want
That's
that.
another thing about me. I'm always
You
cocoa
You need
buttered
to
up to the
moisturise.
eyeballs.
Come on, come
Here
on.
we go.
Display it for. Oh, sheesh.
What do you think?
On the beach.
What do
You're
you
good.
think?
You're good.
You got our colours, man.
Sai,
Anything
it brings
else?
out your eyes, man. Look at this. This is
There you
There you
beautiful.
go. This is. They suit you guys.
They go well with the socks.
They suit you guys. But you know what I'm doing, obviously it's nice to give gifts to everyone else, but I'm just lulling you into a full sense of security. Now you're relaxed. Now you're wearing some nice new fresh clothes.
Feeling
and
good.
feeling good. I'm gonna ask you some tough questions.
Let's
and
go.
all I would like, and I think some of the listeners would like, is the honest answers.
Yeah.
So here we go. Ready?
Born ready.
How long do you expect to live healthy in this world?
That's a great question. That is a great question. Am I going
Go for it.
first?
You can go first if you
Yeah,
want.
I'll take it. 100%. So, yeah, we speak about this amongst ourselves, don't we, boys? So,
We do.
So lifespan versus health span.
Mhm.
And I'm sure we all want to live a long life. But actually, more relevant is living a healthful life.
Yeah.
So what does that look like? Well, for me, kind of health and fitness is kind of that ability to do all the things that you think are important, to invest that time and energy in the people that you think are important, and just kind of to live a full and rich life. I hope, see, my great granddad, sorry, last time I saw him, it was on his 100th birthday.
Wow.
Although he said they messed up my birth certificate, I'm actually 101. You lot
Yeah,
have always-
yeah,
you should have been here
right.
last year, but
Yeah,
I don't doubt that, 'cause you know what it was like. in
True,
Jamaica back in the
true.
day.
In the island.
And I remember being amazed. Like, look at this guy, he's lived 100, in brackets, 101 years on the planet. And I was like, Grandad, that's amazing. How do you feel? And he said something that really kind of resonated, really poignant with me. He looked me square in the eye and said, Scott, it's not good. I said, what do you mean? You've lived 100 years. Like, you're in the world's tiniest club on the planet. He goes, yeah, I know. He goes, everyone I've ever known, I've buried. And I was like, wow, that really, really landed. Because not everyone is fortunate enough to live a long life, let alone a healthful life. So for me, like my thing is, yeah, I'm a fitness guy. But I want to help as many people to be as healthful as they can. Because living a long and healthy life is a bit rubbish if you're doing it on your own. So my thing is, I make as many good decisions as I can around movement, around rest, and around nutrition, to hopefully keep myself as active as is possible. And I'm from good stock. My great granddad lived 100 years. But I'm leveraging as much energy into encouraging others to do the same thing. I tell you what, it'd be rubbish to be 100 on your todd.
Of course it would.
Does that make sense?
Of course it would.
So yeah, here's to reaching a century and still deadlift.
Okay. So 100. Okay,
Yeah.
so we've got a target.
A nice round number.
100. What are you doing, Sire? Come on, give
Do
us
you
some
know,
numbers, some
dad's,
stats.
From my dad's side of the family, quite a lot of people have lived over 100. Like
Sheesh.
102, 103. So yeah, I think one of my
Centurions, we're gonna
aunts
call
was
you
like,
lot.
I think 103.
Wow.
So
Wow.
my dad kind of jokes about it. So he's expecting to live to like, whatever age,
Live
100
forever.
and something. So do you know what? It's not really something I've really thought about too much, other than even at the age I am now, right? It's all about how you can just be the best you can be for your age.
Yeah.
And the big thing for me is making sure that I can still do certain things. I want to still be able to run. I want to be able to jump. I want to be able to play with the kids. I don't want my kids to beat me in a race.
You still got that competitive edge.
I want to challenge them
Yeah.
to beat me in a race.
Yeah,
But I want
yeah.
them to know that the day when they do beat me in a race, they beat me in a race.
They've
So
earned
they,
the victory.
so they can celebrate it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm like that with everything. Even my youngest one, we play FIFA or FC together, and I'm pretty decent at that game. Always been good at that game. And but when he beats me, he can celebrate because he knows I don't ever let him win, right? So as long as I can still do certain things, and like you said it yourself, and actually, you do adjust your training and your exercise because we've spoke about it before, but you almost train to be able to continue to train.
Yeah.
And you have to adjust and change things and be sensible. But look, I plan on living a long life. I want to enjoy my grandkids, and I want to enjoy things. Those things. They're the things I think about a lot now. Yeah. Right, because I've got you have those visions, right, of like running around with your grandkids, still being that granddad that can do all of these things and everything else.
Of course.
So, yeah, man, I plan on living a long, healthy life. I don't, but I'm also not scared of dying. We've all got to go at some point.
Yeah.
And it is like your clock's ticking. I mean, like they say, like every day is a day closer to death. Right?
This is it.
This is it.
Don't
off, give the kick up the backside. Though.
This is it. I think that when you're religious and you have faith and you have certain beliefs, like I think the way I look at this life now is very different because of my own beliefs, right? And you hear people say that this isn't, this is you're a spirit living a human experience, right? Because I believe ultimately there's more after this, right? And that's another subject. So I'm not scared of that, but while I'm here living that human experience, I want to make sure that I do it to the best.
Yeah.
It's nice, and it's not all about money. It's about being able to do things, to see things, and stuff like that. It's not all superficial.
But money helps. Money helps because let's focus on that. So Scotty T's got 100. Okay, let's go for that. Yeah. It's not cheap to live to 100. Yeah. And I know you haven't given us a number, so we're going to press you for a number. Come on, Si. Where are you going to go?
I'm thinking at least 102.
100? Oh, even competition right now. You know what?
I'm thinking at least
the competition never stops. I'm going to go 104.
As long as I'm still deadlifting. Right? So, because there's a chance I could get a deadlift world record.
I like that.
The age. I see what you're doing. I see.
This is where, like, I used to sprint, obviously, back in the day. I keep always saying to myself, you know what? I want to run again as I get older. Then you start YouTubing, you're watching like these 8-year-old guys running like 12, 13 second 100 meters. And like, you know what? If I stay fit and healthy, man, I could be that world champion at 80 years old.
It's just before we started recording, so you said something that really landed with me. And that phrase is this: maintaining is gaining. And I like that. Yeah. So your 200 kilo deadlift, when you were,
which is nothing to be scoffed at, by the way. No, some people might not know what 200 kilos to lift feels like, and your muscles are being torn apart.
It's a heavy lift.
It's a very heavy lift.
A kind of 80-odd kilo guy. That's a lot of numbers relative to body weight. Yeah. Doing that at 25 is big. Doing that at 35, the same weight is even bigger. But when you can hit 45, 55, 65, and you can still pull that weight, same weight, but relative to where you are on your timeline, it's significantly more impressive. So maintaining is gaining. That 80-year-old that can run that 12 seconds, I'll tell you what. He's flying, relatively speaking.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's kind of the guy you want
Superman
to be.
Right there.
Yeah, for sure.
Superman.
But you know what? It's those stories that inspire me, right?
Yeah,
100%.
It's always like when I did the natural bodybuilding, I didn't ever mean to do that. Yeah. I walked into the gym when I turned 30. It's like, right, I need to get back in shape. These guys are all competing. They all look good. And I'm like, I want a bit of that. Yeah. Right. And I didn't do that well when I first did it. And I worked my way, over a period of years and I got where I wanted to do and achieve the things I wanted to achieve. But it's like everything's that kind of a process. But where I am now is like we were saying, you say like a 200 kilo deadlift, right? And I'm fortunate enough I can rep that out for some good reps, right? Now, when I walked into the gym at 30 and I see someone deadlifting 200 kilos, I'm like, damn, I want to be able to do that. And I was 30 when I started doing the weight training. Now it's very much like, because I can go heavier if I want to go heavier. The technique's not quite there. It's rugged. I've got to grind it up and all these things, right? But as long as I can keep sticking to those weights and going, right, like you said it, you hit 50. I've seen 50-year-olds deadlifting 250 kilos, right? Yeah. As long as I can still, so I never aim now to lift more weight. Yeah. I just want to continue to lift that weight.
Yeah.
And that's where the maintaining thing is. And like you said, maintaining is gaining, because if I can keep lifting that weight and I do it every week, and I get to 50, I'm still doing that weight. 55, I'm still doing that weight. 60, I'm still doing that weight. There's no reason why I'm not 70, 80, still pulling a 200. Now, it may well be the fact that I'm like, okay, it's 180 now.
Yeah,
right?
just drop it down a little
But
bit.
it's still 180. It's still a weight I would have looked at when I was 20, 25, 30 years old, and I would have gone, damn, that's a good weight.
So are you, right, again, we can talk around this table quite openly. We can be, we can be competitive. It's nice.
Yeah.
We have our competition with ourselves, right? Do you think your kids would be that impressed about you doing 200 kilo? Or do you think they'd be impressed by something else? Again, think about what I said about living as long as possible, as healthy. All of these things, let's just strip it down.
I think there's two parts to that. So I've been fortunate enough to, during COVID, gym shut in COVID, and I'm a fitness obsessive. And it dawned on me, I don't have so much as a dumbbell at home. So I remember buying some 4 times the price plates from the other side of London.
Some people made some South London. Of course they did.
That's probably why I got fleeced.
See, I told you.
That's
South
probably why I
London.
got fleeced.
Got to be careful. Got to be careful with those lot.
Bought a cheap barbell.
Just saying. I know you're from South London. I could tell.
Oh no, I knew there was a feeling coming from the corner.
The eyes, isn't it?
I knew I could feel it.
Yeah. You guys can't see that on camera. We can.
Yeah. So after getting fleeced in South London for some plates and bought an overly priced cheap, like what should have been a cheap barbell, so I trained at home. My kids there's quite a broad spectrum of age, a bit like you, Si. So my eldest is 14, Bo, big up Bo. Then I've got Solly T, who's 12, sorry. But then we left a big gap. And then we've got Pearl at 6 and Toby at 3. So the younger kids have seen me working out. The older kids will see, oh, Daddy's going to the gym. The younger two have seen Daddy actually working out. They understand what working out is. What are you doing, Dad? Oh, that's more than last week. Oh, that looked hard. Oh, you failed there, Dad. All right, what are you going to do? I'm going to try again. Okay, you did it this time. All of those kind of learnings that happen in the gym. And I think it's a great proving ground for just life. Just a really good way to kind of explore what you're about.
Yep.
Explore how you work under pressure. Explore how you deal with failure. Explore how you kind of you achieve those lofty goals. They've actually got to watch me do a lot of that kind of in the garden, which sounds like nothing.
Yeah,
but it's something. And now my youngest two and my oldest two are active, capable kids, but my youngest two are fitness obsessive. So I'm doing lunges down the garden. They're doing lunges with me. Toby will have the broomstick. If I'm doing, reps on the treadmill, they're running alongside with me or whatever.
That's beautiful.
So being healthy is one thing, but kind of showing that health, and more than showing the health, more showing the journey, showing the kind of the effort put into kind of being able to be the person I think you should be, helpful, energetic, being able to keep up with your kids. They're not only seeing the end result, but they're seeing the journey. I think that's a real powerful thing.
Yeah.
And a marketable impact on their lives, I think.
Yeah. And so you were saying before, again, we're lucky enough to be able to record it now. And it's nice to be able to share the stories. But when you had your kids and you've got different ages, they've been with you along the whole fitness journey, but not just a fitness journey, but just your journey through life, right?
Yeah.
So again, how does that make you feel in general to have them, I guess, on your side to go, oh, Daddy, you know what? He's an impressive kind of guy.
Do you know what? It's nice to be able to inspire your kids, right? You want to inspire anybody in life, right? Because there's all things that inspire you. And we all do what we do because you've been inspired by somebody, right? Your
100%. Like I said, Rocky, right, for instance?
Yeah, 100%. Right?
Big
Special mention for Bruce Lee as well.
Bruce Lee, true.
Can't leave him out.
Yeah, you can't. But these, but you know what? It's an interesting one with my kids and training now because, like, my eldest is 22, right? We were talking last night. He's walking to the gym 9 o'clock, right? He had a bit of a gap from it, but yeah, he's really into it, and he's like, you know what, Dad, I'm eating healthy now because when you're training hard, you want to eat better and stuff like this, right? And he's he's taller than me. He's got great shape, and I've given him what help I can, and he's like, look, can you come to the gym with me? I want to learn to deadlift now because he's not done that yet. Because I'm kind of like, you got to get strong in other areas 100%. Before you start thinking you can just go and pull a load of weight, right? But it's great physique and looking good. Now the youngest two, so when I train at home, me and my wife, we train together, right? She's been my training partner for a long time, right? And it's quite a funny one because over the years, I've always seen the back of my mind, I've set certain challenges for her.
Yeah.
She's not set challenges for herself, right? So like my challenge was like, I want to get a deadlift in 100 kilos, right? So I've gone through this whole process of trying to like teach her how to do it properly, slowly load a bit more weight on, bit more weight on. And she deadlifts 100 kilos now. She's like, perfect technique. She's great. And, so we go through that thing together. But yeah, she was the one really kind of recently is like, look, the kids have got to start doing some like kind of weight training now. We've got to teach them how to deadlift young, so it's a natural thing and stuff like this. So you know what? The youngest one is he's competitive, right? But the 11-year-old, he's gone off to secondary school now, so it's a good time, and he's like starting to mature and all this, and some of the guys I've seen when I did the bodybuilding, teens, they got amazing physiques. And what people don't realize is when you're going through that whole kind of puberty stage, your testosterone levels are so high. It's like being on steroids, right?
Yeah.
And what people don't kind of, like do is when you are at that age and you start weight training, you will put on some serious muscle size, right? Serious muscle size that will stay with you forever.
100%.
So I've kind of really wanted them to do it, but I haven't wanted to push them, and they come in, they put their head around the door. Normally when I'm deadlifting, I'm like, get out, don't distract me. Right? I'm that dad, it's like, and I'm like arm curling, the next minute one of them's in the doorway like dancing and stuff like this, right?
TikTok dances.
Yeah. And I'm like, let me concentrate. I'm trying to lift this weight. This is dangerous. Right. But recently, right, they've been coming in the gym, they've been doing a little workout, my wife after school, things like this. They're deadlifting, they're bench pressing. I've got I've got a dipping station, but I put it really high. They're doing like pull-ups.
I love that.
And they can't do one, but I'm like, look, get yourself up and then just try and hold it for as long as you can, right?
Yeah.
And they're doing all these little things now, and it's so cool to see them getting into it.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at it going, do you know what? When I was like your age, I would have loved to have had gym equipment at home.
Yeah, for sure.
I would love to be able,
big time.
It's a blessing.
push a bit of weight and all this. And you know what? Personally, I just, it's nice to see them getting into stuff like that. But also, you can start seeing the little muscles developing. You can start seeing them changing, right?
Yeah.
And you almost know, like when they go off to school and things like this, especially with the ones that start in secondary school, you want them to have like little biceps. You want them to be that. You want them to feel comfortable, confident,
absolutely.
and
little polo shirt popping out, some definition.
There's a satisfaction. I think as a parent, there's a certain feedback loop. So the job is to kind of impart values into our kids, so they can make shrewd decisions going forward and kind of create that person that they're going to become. And something like fitness is kind of a shorter loop. Yep. So you've showed them these values, and immediately they are now doing it. Yep. So it's not like you're waiting for them to kind of go off, get married. It's a very quick, satisfactory feedback loop.
It's an interesting one, right? And I mentioned that when I was growing up, I was dyslexic. I had learning problems, and it was very different back then, right? Because if you had a learning difficulty back then, right? I was born in the 70s, right? So you were just classed as a naughty kid.
That's it.
You weren't
troublemaker.
You weren't given so my middle son, he's got like a mild form of autism, right? And really clever kid. You give him maths and you're like, wow, how can you, like, he's so smart and clever, wired up a little differently, but he's so gifted in other areas, right? So sometimes these things people look at as a negative can be, especially in other ways. And so, I was classed as a naughty kid, but then I excelled at sport, right? And that was when I got the credibility. That's when I felt like I was kind of worthy, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it gave me that confidence. And that's where, when I look at with the kids doing some training and stuff like that, I think, knowing that you're strong, knowing that you can do things that maybe other people your age can't do, things like this, it gives you this little confidence. And I 100%. Think that's really important. Otherwise, I had times when I was a kid where it's very like not confident and didn't build relationships up with people because it didn't feel quite right. But then when it came to sport, I was a completely different person.
You could shine in that arena, and the confidence followed.
Completely different. Always believed I'm going to win. I'm going to be the best.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Great.
And that's how I was with it.
Yeah.
But when it comes to other things, you just felt a little bit. So I look at it with my kids, and I'm like, if they just feel confident that they can do things and they're strong, that's kind of how I want them to be.
All right, guys, we'll take a quick break. So we'll be back really, really soon, and just obviously carry on the conversation, the real talk.
Let's go.
And let's just go and get some drinks. Let's go and have some food.
Appreciate you, bro.
We'll be right back. Well, guys, welcome back. Hope you're refreshed. You know what? To be fair, I'm a little bit thirsty. Pop this bad boy out. You know what I mean? Nothing wrong with that.
Do you think, bro?
We're going to come back and talk about exactly what we have been. And from what I gather, we're talking about yourself, longevity, health and fitness. It'll be interesting to find out exactly what you do. So rather than just focusing on the exercise bar, just, the things that just keep you healthy. And more importantly, it sounds as though you want to talk about being there for your families.
Mm.
Also being there for yourself and looking good in a t-shirt. Let's just be honest about this
Mhm.
kind of stuff because we need to. So yeah, why don't we just explore that a little bit? So not just the exercise part. What else do you do to keep as healthy for as long as possible?
Go on, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, man. I do as much as I can. Listen, my wife still looks probably like 20 years younger than she is, right? So I've got no choice.
So you're punching.
Yeah, 100.
Always been a heavy hitter.
Hey,
Si.
nothing
Nothing wrong with that, mate.
Boxing from young,
Celebrate.
you know
Yeah,
exactly
listen,
what to
celebrate.
do.
She's
Do
got
it.
some seriously good genes.
Brilliant.
You know, and I like, you know, I look at her and I'm like, damn, I've got to try and stay as young as possible for as long as I can, right?
Yeah.
And do you know what? It wasn't probably even something I really worried about that much until suddenly you hit 45,
Yeah.
right? And I'll be 48 in a few months, and you're like, but you hit that 45, and you're like, you look in the mirror and you're like, man, those lines weren't there 5 years ago.
I feel you, yeah.
That ache and that pain and that, like, I'm definitely one of those guys now when I'm groaning more. Like, you know, you get up.
I was going to say, do you make the old man noise when you get
man.
out the sofa?
Seriously,
That's a
like
sign.
it's not even, it's like every movement. Honestly, like I wake up in the morning and like elbows and shoulders, and I'm like, it takes me so long to get these things even working properly. I was laughing this morning because I struggle waking up in the morning now, right? So this is my routine, right? So I get up. First thing I do is I have a big, actually I've got some big mugs because I used to make a coffee. So I filled it up with water and I do like a big, you know, rehydrate myself probably in the morning. Right? This morning though, I'm standing there, right? And I'm like literally half asleep because it's the first thing I do. Cold water taps on. And all of a sudden the water's going everywhere. I'm holding the mug upside down.
Oh, that's bad.
Right?
That's an old man move, Si.
that's
I'm
proper old man.
calling you out on that.
Right?
Sorry, bro.
And this is the God's honest truth, right? So, and then I've got there's a few supplements that I take, right? And as much as I've got Found Nutrition, you know, with sports supplements, all this stuff, on the longevity side, there's things that I do, right? I use M&M, right, which is supplement. There's been some really kind of good studies around it, you know, but it's if you start going into like stem cells, replenishment of stem cells, and things like this. So I use that. I got another one, Resveratrol, right, which is a similar thing. Comes from like it's a little bit like red wine. Comes from dried grapes, and again, there's claims around longevity and things like this, right? So these are two supplements I use, and I just take the raw powder. I've got sacks of it. Right? And then I just do like 4 or 5 grams of creatine, right? And then I take, I've got an oil I'm using at the moment called C60. Okay. Which again is another, you know, stimulating the brain, things like this, getting things working that shouldn't work. I mean, creatine is an important one as well because there was some studies recently, and they were looking at people with autism, and they were saying everybody with autism has a lack of creatine in the brain.
I've come across some of this.
Yeah. And there's great stuff around brain stimulation, kids developing their brain better and differently through taking creatine. Things
Also
like this.
dementia.
Absolutely.
That's coming into the conversation.
And you have to worry about that as you get a bit older.
All sorts of genders as well. Because I think a lot of the misconceptions are, oh, it's just a guy's thing. Oh, it's just a gym thing. I think it's far wider than that.
So creatine is the best way to kind of explain it, right? Is if you were living like the cavemen did, right? And we killed our meat there and then, and we semi-cooked it, had it a bit raw because that's how you'd eat, right?
Yeah.
You get creatine. It's one of the essential amino acids, comes from meat. Creatine doesn't last for very long in anything, right? So you got your meat in the supermarket. By the time you've bought that meat and you've cooked that meat, there's pretty much zero creatine. Right? Unless you eat a lot of sushi, raw steak, things like this, you won't. But to get the level of creatine that you really need, you have to supplement. And it's probably, in my opinion, probably the most important amino acid there is. Right? And it's a product with FAO focused on because and tried to make it in a way in which, you know, we can make sure that we maintain the correct creatine levels in the products that we do. Right? So that's an important one for me. So that's kind of like my routine in the morning, regardless. That's religious. Right? So M&M, Resveratrol, creatine, C60 oil. And then I have a very large kind of double espresso. Milk.
I wonder whether caffeine was going to
Are you
creep in.
sure the cup is then turned the right way around?
Man, don't, right? I normally spill it. Don't trust me. I normally spill it. You know, my wife said to me this morning, she goes, I went in the kitchen, like, I wonder what had gone on. There's just powder everywhere.
Train wreck.
Right.
Scarface.
Yeah.
It's another film.
Because
Yeah.
what I'm doing,
Entrepreneurial.
100%.
nothing's
Yeah.
capsules
100%.
because of
Great
the
result.
contacts
Yeah.
I've got. You know,
Don't do drugs, kids.
I just get all the raw ingredients.
Yeah.
And I've just got little spoons that are 1 milligram, 1 gram, and 3 gram, all this, right?
Yeah.
And I do it like that. But then, you know, she can laugh at me. She said the other day, she does the same, right? And the postman was knocking with a parcel, and she's gone down. She said, he was looking at me so strange. She goes, and then when I come back up with the parcel, she goes, I looked in the mirror and I've got white powder all over my top.
Is that good morning?
Oh no.
He must have been
Or is it still good evening?
Oh,
he must have
no.
been thinking, man, you
Postal
start early.
service will stop delivering at your house.
That's it. That's it.
What's that package you're getting? Oh,
Yeah,
no.
yeah, for sure.
But you know what? All of those little things for me are quite important, right? Do you feel a difference? I don't know. You know, I've been doing it for a while, but I do my research.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do my studying.
Yeah.
And the thing is the way I always look at stuff, and it's a saying I've used for years. I use this with athletes, even when I'm recommending supplements and diet things. If it makes 1% difference,
Yeah.
it's 1%.
Yeah.
It's big.
You know,
That's your
and,
1%.
Yeah.
and you know, if you're planning to live 100 years, that's another year.
100%.
That's another year of your life. It's another
Yeah.
year with your family, your grandkids, another year of experiences and all of these things, right? And I think I said it to you guys before, but from my side, the one thing I know I can control, right? And I said this before, but like, you can't control how successful you are, how much money you have, how many people buy your product. You know, you can't control what other people think of you, but you can control your own health.
Yeah.
You can control, you know, your weight. You can control all of these things. And I like the fact that these are things that I can control. So I want to try and control them as much as I possibly can, right? So I do honestly believe you can control how you feel, how you want to feel, whether you want to be happy, whether you want to be sad, whether you want to be moody, whether you want to be grumpy. You know, my kids probably think I'm, to be fair, I do moan too much.
No, that's all right. That's the old man in
I
all
do
of
moan
us,
too
though.
much.
That's okay to moan.
You know what it is? As you
This
get,
is what we're doing here.
as you get older, right?
It's fine.
As you get older, you get less patient.
Of course you do.
Right? You get less patient. And so
the music's too loud, you know what I mean? Things like that, yeah.
You know, and sometimes you beat yourself up because you can be a bit grumpy, but you know, you're like, you've had a long day, you just want to chill, and it's like, with the kids running around,
Of course.
YouTube, like every 5 seconds, they're watching something different. Like,
Of course. Of course.
You know, so like, yeah, man, one of the probably things I do need to do is probably chill out a little bit more sometimes. You know what I mean?
I think.
What about you, Scotty T? Come on. Go on,
So-
share us the secrets to long life.
Routine is king. So I like to listen to size routine. It's always interesting to see what other people do. And I am a big routine guy.
Mhm.
So for me, it's all about, if I win the morning, then I'm winning the day. Like the morning, that's like my bubble of time for me. So no matter what happens, no matter what my schedule is, I'm up early. So for example, today, I had a client join me at 6:15, but I've got 10 Ks of running plus a cool down to do. So my alarm went off at 3 because I've got to win my day to be the best me that I can be. So without doubt, every single morning for me will start with some movement. So I'll get up and I'll hydrate. My supplement stack's nowhere near as kind of broad as your side.
When you say hydrate, water or something else?
Yeah, so I will drink at least 1.5 liters of water, because normally that will immediately be followed by a workout. So at least 1.5 liters of water. Creatine, 5 to 10 grams. See, there's a lot of conversation about megadosing creatine. And once your muscles are saturated, then your brain can then start to reap some of the benefits of that. There's a lot of studies of it. You know, creatine helps your muscles fire, but they reckon all those serious neurons, all those signals, it can have the similar effect on your brain. So I've been playing with megadosing creatine. Some people struggle with upsets their tummy. Fortunately, I'm all right. I'll take an electrolyte.
Okay.
So a potassium sodium mix, and some caffeine. Oh, some caffeine. Probably too much caffeine.
Go on. What's the dosage? Come on.
So I do.
You can't have too much caffeine.
Oh, I don't know. So brace yourself. So I've got caffeine tablets. Each tablet.
No.
Yeah, it's terrible.
You're
Each
not doing
tablet.
it for the flavour.
No, I need the hit quickly, or else my world's going to go in. It's an addiction. It's terrible. And if I don't get my fix, I'm a rattling mess. Anywhere between 200, sometimes 400.
Oh my goodness.
milligrams of caffeine to 1 or 2
those
times.
Wow, man, that's banned in some countries.
That is
you know
crazy.
exactly.
That's crazy.
I
But
don't think you'd be allowed in France, bro.
This
That
is
kind
it.
of thing,
I'm
you know?
good to
They
go,
drink
though.
a lot of coffee.
I am good to go though.
Oh no.
Before any movement, as I'm not going to say 90% of the time, I'll have some still time. So I do mobility, call it yoga, call it meditation, call it prayer. But there's a combination of all those things that happen first thing in the morning, before I've had any contact with anyone, before I've checked my phone, before I've done anything. 15 minutes. And that's to, yes, prime my body, but prime my head as well. And that's when I give myself a minute to explore like any kind of pressing issues, like really explore them. Look at them head on, put them in boxes. Right, I'm going to deal with you now. I can deal with you later. I can deal with you after that. But I'll prime my body at the same time. And then we're into some movement. So every morning we'll start with a workout. Maybe I'll run, maybe I'll lift, maybe it'll be something light on the bike. But I feel like when you get the kind of the juices going and the body temperature raised, it gets those neurons firing in your brain. And my other non-negotiable. So I've got a gym at home, as you know. And over the past 12, maybe 14 months, other than competing in fitness competitions or training in friends' gyms or being away from home on holiday, I've trained at home. And what that means is I've trained outside like every single day for over a year. And that's first thing in the morning. So that thing of going outside after getting your head on and often watching the sunrise, but certainly getting that light into your eyes first thing.
Yeah.
I think that is a super weapon that we should all tap into. That kind of feeling of just getting that vitamin D here, which is an essential.
Yeah. 100%.
I supplement it in the winter, but in the summer, getting that light in your eyes, getting that fresh air, kind of feeling connected. That's the thing that gets me going. So that's the physical stuff. But we talk about being healthy. What is healthy? Another thing that I've been exploring is the power of human connection. Now, this is going to sound a little bit esoteric and out there.
No, not at all.
But I've really been leaning into this. And I think that humans need humans. And I think that kind of good energy kind of attracts other good energy. And I think that even the worst people have a bit of God in them. Remember you referencing this before. So some good in them. So I've made it my mission over my recent couple of years that every time I'm having an interaction with a person, to try and make that interaction as positive as possible. And I think it's that that's kind of led me to sitting around this table. It's that's kind of given me the confidence to kind of explore things that have been going on in the back of my mind and to have confidence to lean into callings that have always been there, but I've always kind of second guessed. Because I think the power of that positive connection, much like working out, you spend energy on working out, it gives you more energy. You spend energy on other people, you spend energy trying to make people better, it gives you more energy, more capacity to do that good work.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's like, it's something I do for others, but it's kind of almost a selfish pursuit. Because I feel like it makes me better at being me
of course it does.
when I'm doing that work.
It happens. If you think about it, the three of us, right? Life got busy a couple of weeks ago for various reasons. You know, like I said, you were busy, I was busy. Yeah. And then we've got this group, another WhatsApp group. Yeah. Some of them can be bad, but this one isn't exactly that. And I can't remember exactly who. I think it was Sai, probably just messaged on there, "Hey guys, how you doing?" Yeah. That the power carried a lot more power than what you think. The power. And then you just respond, you're like, "Oh yeah, I'm cool. I'm a bit busy." And then just that little dip in of someone else is thinking about you. Yeah. And you know what? The older we get, the harder it is to make friends. And friends, I mean, you know, I don't use that word lightly, and I don't think anyone should. Colleagues, acquaintances, we've got all of those. But friends is different. And you just sending that, bro, I'm telling you, you know, talking about your routine, talking about the buzz you get from friends and family, it's just someone's thinking about you. And you just go, "Oh, yeah, you know what? Or actually, it's actually pretty crap right now." Yeah. Just that. And that gave us a little bit of a buzz, I think. So powerful. Just to reconnect.
You know what? Something you said, JP, right? Because as you get older, I mean, I find probably now, right? I've got less friends than I've ever had.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And a lot of that's because you get let down by people. You realise who's important, you know, like
people unfortunately die as well. You know, it's not a nice subject.
And you know, but you do slowly, you drift away from certain people, certain people go down different routes to other people, and you can become more kind of lonely as you get older, right? And that's why, you know, that I'm lucky that I'm in a good relationship, right? Good marriage. My wife's my best friend. And we've always been best friends, right? We knew each other when we were like, 16, 17, 18. And we were really good friends then. And so sometimes you actually feel like you don't need anybody else, right?
Yeah.
Because you have that. But then it's also important, and I know the conversations we've had, that especially from a man's perspective, you need to have those men conversations.
Of course.
And I think they are important. But the difference is when they're genuine, that's when they mean something, right? Not when they're just like, all for the wrong reasons. Oh, what can you bring to me? Kind of scenario, right? And that's when I talk about you get let down by people. You get people to pretend they're your friend because you add some kind of value to their life, but they don't actually add any value to your life, right? And I think at the age we all are, we can probably all relate to that in some way,
100%,
right? Because we've all had similar experiences. Because I believe in life, and it's a bit of a spiritual thing and religious beliefs and things. But I think we all go through a journey.
Yes.
And I think that journey is some kind of a plan, whether it be a challenge, there's chapters, there's experiences.
Yeah.
And I'm at a point where I actually think, we all go through a depression.
Yep.
We all go through good times, bad times.
100%.
We all go through heartache.
Yeah.
Because I think there's this part of you have to experience a bit of everything.
Yeah.
And we all experience it in different ways, but it's a very similar journey.
Yeah.
And that can sound right out there for some people.
It's not.
No, I don't think so.
I think there's a lot of truth in that.
I think that resonates, Si. So they say kind of, I've been thinking about these throwaway phrases. So vibrate your kind of your authentic self and the right people will be around you. Like you hear people say that, and I'm like, well, what does that mean? And something you said kind of got me thinking. And I think as you get older, as you get more skin in the game, as you have more relationships and broader than that kind of, or more poignant than that, as you get a better understanding of who you are, you work out what you tolerate, what's good for you and what's not good for you. So when you get that feeling of getting older and feeling like that kind of social connection group gets smaller, I think that's natural. Because if you're not being more selective about who you share your energy with, are you truly maturing? But then beyond that, and that makes me think about sitting around this table, like we connected not that long ago, but I feel like this connection's always been there. It's a weird thing. I feel like it's always been there. And I think that speaks to truly knowing what you're about, truly knowing what you would accept from others. And then all of a sudden, the people that you actually are around, the people you do actually share time with, have all those values, have all those ideals, have all those essential characteristics. Definitely. So that this can emulsify on fast forward, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
So we all it's a journey and it's a wave. And I speak to a lot of guys around our age collectively. A lot of guys are at different points in that journey. But my biggest takeaway is kind of having a community. It doesn't matter how big or small that community is, but we all do need someone to lean into, something
100%.
to lean into, somewhere to kind of share the wins and the losses. To vent. We talked about moaning. It's a healthy thing.
We need it.
In our life, we know about the power of moaning.
We could do another episode just about moaning, to be fair.
But the essential was having that community that can keep you honest, that can keep you accountable.
100%.
But also can give you a little nudge when you need it. And there's no harm in that. Bro.
So saying that, right, because we're going to have to wrap this episode up, and it's been, well, for me, I literally sit here like a backseat driver, just take it in us. I really take it all in. I'm going to ask you a question. In fact, I'm going to ask you a specific vow that you're going to take away. And I think maybe we should do that per episode, whoever comes onto the show, or maybe just for ourselves. What do you vow from this episode to take away? Just one sentence before we wrap it all up. What do you vow to do? That's maybe a better question.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to go first because I've been listening to myself in this conversation. So I've got to make a vow to stop moaning at my kids. Okay.
Oh, it's recorded now, bro.
Okay.
Are they going to listen to this podcast? Because they do.
I have to.
It's like a contract, isn't it?
Yeah, I have to. Yeah.
I love that. That's a good one, Si. I'm going to vow. So myself and the beautiful Mrs. T went on our first break away from the kids since 2017. And it was amazing to have just us time.
Yeah.
To like look her in the eye and just kind of remember why we ended up being in the same place at the same time.
Yeah.
And in my own personal life, I know this isn't one sentence, JP. I don't know how to do one sentence. In my own life, I'm in a period of flux and growth and change. And that's going to benefit everyone. But the weekend away we had was a stark reminder that I've still got to stay present and engage in what I have now. Getting there is going to be amazing. But
so come on, shrink it down. Shrink it down.
To be as present as I possibly can.
Okay.
For all the people that I love. Boom. Sentence.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful.
Okay. What about you, bro?
What am I going to do? Well, if I'm completely honest, this helps me an awful lot. You know, people being able to talk to each other, and I just vow to spending more time with you two. If I'm honest.
Big.
Gives me a lot. So I'm selfish, I know. So I'm going to take your time away from your kids and your wife.
It's all
But you
good,
know
bro.
what? I appreciate
We're
that.
edifying each other. We appreciate you, brother.
So
100%.
thank you again. I think we're going to do this again.
Cool.
We're going to do it for some more episodes. We're going to obviously invite different people, get their perspective on things. And if people want to listen to us, brilliant. If they want to join us, brilliant. We'll be posting links to all the things we've talked about for a healthier lifestyle, routines, you know, some of the supplements, some of the links to some of the products that we definitely use and we definitely live by. So thank you for your time. Thank you for listening to us. And please join us again for the next episode of the Heavy Set Podcast.
Let's go.
Let's go, guys.